Speech off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so I have just finished For a Lifetime by Gabrielle Meyer, the third book in the Timeless series that, everybody's talking about. I've read a few books since I finished it, but I am just craving a time travel book. Like, I need more time travel, and I have to wait until November to get her next book, and I really need some time travel. The problem is I'm a very picky time travel reader. So I thought that I would kind of tell you my taste in time travel and see if you can help a girl out. So first of all, let's tell you what I don't like. I'm not interested in like science fiction-y time travel. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that time travel is science fiction. But like, I don't need like a bunch of technical terms, I guess, or like scientists trying to explore this concept of time travel. You know what I mean? Like, I want relationships and historical danger and yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not really interested in that. I'm not interested in going to the future, like distant future. I love like people from the 1800s going to the 21st century. That's fun. But once you get past like 2024 and you go into 2040, I'm not interested. I also, honestly, I prefer historical time travel. So, some of my favorites have included Kindred by Octavia Butler, Outlander by Diane Gabaldon. Don't get me wrong, Outlander is very M-rated, and I skip a lot of the sex scenes, but I mean, I'm obsessed, and I'm going to read book 10 when it comes out. So, yeah, I mean, that one's about Claire. She was from the 40s, and she touches a stone by accident and ends up in Scotland in, like, the 1700s or whatever, 1740s in the first one, I think. So, yeah, we get, like, history and romance and all of that, and that's fun. Like, that's kind of what I'm into. And it doesn't even have to be so much romance, but I like history and like being in like danger because you're not that familiar with that time in history, and you're like this modern, ooh, my dogs are going crazy. You're in like modern times and you don't know what to do with being in the time of covered wagons. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that like that's the kind of thing I love. So lately, I've loved, like I said, Kindred by Octavia Butler. That one is about Dana, who gets sucked into slavery times in the 1970s to help, like, this relative of hers. I mean, that's really fun. Okay, it's not fun. Slavery's terrible, obviously, but, like, the danger aspect of it is compelling. And Outlander is also compelling because you have battle scenes, you have danger, you have people, all of that. It's like the history of it. And then I loved What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. That one's also another like historical time travel, but it has some romance in it, which was good. And I recently read, what's that one called? I just read it too. I need to find it. This is bad. Anyway. I'll find it at some point. But, yeah. And at the current moment, my current favorites are obviously, the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. I cannot wait for her next one. This series has, like, the perfect amount of romance and history to keep me compelled. Like, I don't want a book that has just romance, which, is probably horrifying some people who love romance. I like a good love story too, but I need way more plot than love story. I like it kind of melded into it, I guess. The Unmaking of June Farrow. That's the one I just read. That one was good too. That one was more of a family time travel type thing. It had a little bit of a love story because there was like a romance back in time, but honestly it was more about the family structure than anything else. So yeah, I like that. But yeah, like the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer is like the family has this like time crossing gene, and you basically wake up in 3 different time periods. One night you wake up in one, then you wake up at another, then you wake up at another. So, and then when you turn 25, you have to pick which time period to enter, or to keep, I mean. And so, like, I want more, and I don't know what else to read. I keep looking through, like, time travel things, and I'm just not interested in any of it. It's all super science fiction-y, or, like, apocalyptic, or just, I don't know. I'll tell you what I did not like, and a lot of people love this book. I think I've recently heard Tammy from Believe in Yourself talk about Diane Chamberlain's time travel book. What was it called? The Dream Daughter. And okay, don't get me wrong. I loved the concept. Like, I love the idea that you go forward in time to save your kid because you don't have the means in the 70s where you're from. That's like the whole premise. And I was super excited. And then you see this woman, like, okay, there's going to be spoilers for this book because I need to vent my rage. I've been wanting to vent my rage about this book forever, and now I'm going to do it. So, for anyone who has not read The Dream Daughter by Diane Chamberlain, stop watching now. I'm giving you a second to turn it off. Okay, if you're not gone, too bad. So, yeah. This woman is from the 70s. She finds out there's something wrong with her baby's heart. And then her sister's husband, she finds out he's a time traveler. And he basically shows her how to go forward in time to the 2000s so that she can get surgery to fix her baby's heart in utero. So she does that. And something goes wrong, and she can't bring her back to her time, but she has to go back at a certain time. I forget exactly how it happens, but just leave the baby behind. So she's going to come back to get her, but when she goes back to the wrong time. She goes back 10 years into the future, and so basically her kid is 11 years old and being adopted by another family, and I'm just like, no. I'm so done. I was enjoying this book because I was expecting this happily ever after for her raising her kid and all that. And no, all of this for her not to raise her kid, no. If there's time travel better be fair, because otherwise, what's the point of it? So yeah, like, that was just enraging. I legit chucked my phone across the room and had a bookish temper tantrum. I do not have bookish temper tantrums, but that was a moment of bookish rage, okay? Judge me. So yeah, I did not like that. And then, all I was thinking was, okay, so go back in time and try to fix your mistake. Don't, ugh. In the end, she meets up with her kid when she's in her 70s, because that's when her kid is 20, which is weird. And I hated it. Sorry, Diane Chamberlain. I love everything else I've ever written, but that book fills me with rage. So, yeah, no. If we're going to do time travel better be fair. Ugh. Otherwise, just live in the unfair world that you live in. Anyway, so yeah, I hated that book. So, if there's any twists like that one, don't give it to me. And then, there's also another one that I read last summer. I think it was, Emma Straub's book? The one where she keeps going back in time and trying to save her dad, and she never does. And, the timeline keeps messing up. I think it was called This Time Tomorrow or something. But I hated that too, because again, I'm like, okay, if time travel's a thing, I want it to fix my problems, not make them worse. And then just ultimately end up at the end full circle with, time travel sucks. Life must go on. You should probably accept your dad's dying. No thanks. I want a happy ending for my time travel. I don't want a miserable ending. So yeah, those are kind of my caveats. Oh yeah, the other time travel book I loved was Faye Far Away by Helen Fisher. I think it's Helen Fisher. In this one, Faye meets her mother and her 7-year-old self, because she goes back in time before her mother dies or disappears because you never find her body. So they just presume she's dead. And so, yeah, it's all just a wild ride. But the ending is totally worth it. The funny thing is, I was actually sure that I would not like Gabrielle Meyer's series because I was always afraid that I refused to read it for a while, even though I heard Amanda and Katie, and I can't think of any other people, like, off the top of my head right now, but, like, they're all raving about this book or this series, and I'm like, I refused for the longest because I was like, what if I don't like the time period she's in? Like, I was so jaded by the Dream Daughter that I thought, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to be so angry at her for picking the time period I don't want her to pick. Like, I know it. And in every book so far, she has managed to make me very happy with the outcomes, which is really hard for a picky person like me, as you can tell from this video. So yeah, if anybody can give me some more time travel book suggestions, please do. Anyway, thanks. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Speech on. Stop recording.